What is up, YouTube? Welcome to the channel. Today we've got a non-spoiler review of The Northman, as promised on my Instagram. I do apologise if I look a little bit tired. I went to a late screening last night and didn't get home till just before midnight. And then only got about 5 hours sleep before I'm here now recording this video for you guys. So I do apologise if I look a little bit tired, but I do it all for you guys. So with that in mind, also, if you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you never miss a video, and feel free to leave any comments down in the comments boxes. The more feedback you give us, the better we know that you are enjoying our content. And any suggestions that you might have on future reviews, feel free to put those down in the comments section as well. We do read them, we will respond, and any feedback is good feedback, so feel free to do that. So, as mentioned, today we've got an non-spoiler review of The Northman. So this is a movie directed by Robert I'm going to butcher his name, Eggers. I think it's pronounced Eggers. He directed other movies such as The Lighthouse and The Witch. I'm not familiar with those other... Well, I am familiar with those other titles, but I haven't seen them myself. This was the first movie of his that kind of piqued my interest. It's not the normal, typical movie that I go out to see. Just from the trailers, though, cinematically, it looked quite interesting. I personally also have a great interest in Norse mythology and Viking culture, so that also naturally drew me to this movie. So, Robert Eggers' The Northman. The storyline itself is a revenge story. You get that from the trailers. So it's a young boy whose father is killed. He grows up and seeks revenge for his father's death and seeks his kingdom back. Okay, so it's not a new story. It's a story that we've heard many times before, but this was a new take on it, obviously with the whole Norse mythology behind it and driving the story. It was very Macbeth, I felt, in its story and its portrayal. Felt very Macbeth's in its style, and I was really impressed that they wove in, instead of just telling the story, they had to wove through the story the mythology and the kind of, obviously the whole Odin and and all of that. Obviously, because that's very steeped in Norse mythology, they're very into all that sort of stuff. So look. Scripting wise, story wise, it was great. It was a very good movie. I really enjoyed it. They jumped between subtitles and English a fair bit, which didn't really throw me out too much, but was just an interesting take rather than just go like English all the way through or subtitles all the way through. They kind of jumped to and fro quite a bit. And I mean, there are moments where they are speaking in other languages and there are no subtitles, so you just kind of, you don't know what exactly they're saying, but I mean, you get an idea though, because they're usually like prayers or something like that. So story wise, it's pretty stock standard. Nothing kind of new or special about it, except for the Norse aspect and the mythology woven in there. I want to talk about the visuals, the cinematography, the visuals of this movie, the landscape and the sets and everything else. they really are quite spectacular. The cinematographer and obviously the director did a fantastic job in picking locations and getting just beautiful landscape shots that are obviously supposed to be like Iceland and and various different places in Europe. So visually, it's quite spectacular, like with the visuals. And when they cut, and there are moments in the movie where they'll cut to like night shots or dimly lit areas and whatever, and it's very interesting, what the director did in terms of those shots, and the kind of in some moments it's grainy, other moments it feels more black and white, so visually, with the cinematography and everything, he made some interesting choices there, which all worked really, really well. But visual wise, this movie is quite spectacular, and it is very pleasing to the eye. So I can't fault that at all. Can't fault the scripting, can't fault the story, cannot fault the cinematography or the visuals. So that was all really good. Casting. So this movie has a really interesting kind of cast. So we've obviously in the lead you've got Alexander Skarsgard, who is a fantastic actor. I've enjoyed his acting for many, many years. He's done lots of really interesting roles. I think the most recent thing I saw him in was a remake of the TV miniseries of The Stand by Stephen King, which he played Mr. Black, or the devilish character, and he was fantastic in that. And so if you haven't seen that, make sure you check that out. But Alexander Skarsgård was really, really good in the lead role. He was buff and shredded, and you believed that he was a Northman. You believed that he was a Viking. And they did a really interesting job with the cinematography and the visuals, of kind of making sure he was always like almost like a foot taller than everyone else as well. So there was also that size kind. They showed you that he is physically bigger than everyone else, which you would expect from Vikings and Northmen back in those days. There was always those kind of stories that they were huge, compared to normal men, they were huge and physically menacing and things like that. And you believe that in this movie with Alexander Skarsgård. He did a great job in preparing for this role there. Anya Taylor-Joy, playing his, I suppose you'd say his opposite, or co-lead. She was really good as well. I'm not a huge Anya Taylor-Joy fan. That being said, I wouldn't be able to tell you the names of any other movies I've seen her in. I'm sure I've seen her before, but never, she's just never been a standout to me. But she did do a great job in this as well. Then you've got Nicole Kidman, who played Skarsgård's mother. Again, I'm not a big Nicole Kidman fan personally, even though she's an Aussie like me. I've just never held her in that high regard. I've enjoyed one or two of her movies in the past, but again, I'm not a big fan. But she did do a very good job in this. She was very, very believable. There were moments where you liked her. There were other moments where you really didn't like her, and I suppose that's a testament to her acting ability. I think any person can make you like them. Any person can make you like them, but a really good actor can make you absolutely despise them at times as well. So I suppose, in that sense, she did, she is a good actress and everything. She did do a good job. Ethan, I think it's Ethan Hawke. Hang on. Yeah, Ethan Hawke. Did a great job as well. Besides Alexander Skarsgard and Anya Taylor-Joy, those are your two main characters, and they're in it for the bulk of the film. All other characters are kind of secondary, thirdly, and aren't in the movie for very, very long. So Nicole Kidman, Ethan Hawke, they did, for the roles that they played, albeit that they weren't big roles, did a great job. Ethan Hawke's been around for a long time. I've enjoyed a lot of his works over the years. So it was kind of interesting seeing him in this role and what have you, he did a great job. William Dafoe and Bjork were also both in this movie, and played. William Dafoe is a fantastic actor. He's been around for years, been in many numerous things. He's played the leads, in the majority of his films. In this movie, he's literally in it for about 5 minutes, and that's being generous. It's probably more like 3 to 4 minutes. He plays a very, very small role. But that being said, he plays a meaningful role in the story. You wouldn't be able to take his character out and have the same movie, which is saying a lot, for such a small role to have such a meaningful impact on the story, and you wouldn't even know it was him. You wouldn't even know that it was William Dafoe. They don't do, in real close, they don't show his face all that much. So it was very interesting. And obviously, I think because William Dafoe was in Robert Eggers' other movie, The Lighthouse, I think there's probably also some friendship or familiarity there between the two of them. So when Robert had this project coming up, he probably just went to William and said, "Hey, look, I've got this role. Would you be interested?" And William probably just accepted it out of some sort of friendship or whatever. But like I said, a really, really impactful and meaningful role for the movie. But you wouldn't have known it was William Dafoe at all, except maybe for a little bit for the voice. And Bjork, literally in it for a minute, had a few lines of dialogue and then gone. So wouldn't even know she was there. Wouldn't have even known that it was Bjork. So anyway, moving right on. So look, they did a fantastic job on the casting. I'll say, everyone did a great job. Everyone played their roles really well, was convincing. So really could not fault it at all. So look, across the board, thumbs up across the board. Everything had its place. They did a fantastic job. Really visually stunning. The scoring and the music was fantastic as well. There were moments where I was, tapping my foot or, bopping my leg, along with the beat of the drums and the Viking drums and everything. So, look, across the board, I have to give this movie thumbs up across the board. The only thing I will say, it is a long movie. It's surprisingly long. It's about just under 2.5 hours, which I did not realize going into it. I thought it was going to be a very quick kind of 2 hours, or maybe just under 2 hours. Hence why I got out and got home like just before midnight, because I did not realize it was going to go as late. So it's a long movie. Don't expect to be in and out very quick. You're in for the long haul. So there you go. Look, just at face value, across the board, all thumbs up. Is it something that I would see again? Maybe on home streaming. I might sit down and rewatch it again. Maybe with the wife one Saturday night or something. It's definitely not a movie that you go back to and watch again and again and again and again. As I said, look, this is not my personal type of movie. I don't go out of my way to watch these types of movies all the time. They're very film noir in their style and everything. It was an enjoyable experience, though. It was definitely an enjoyable experience. If you saw my out of the cinema reaction that I posted straight after walking out of the cinema, I was lost for words. I couldn't describe the experience except for the fact that it was an experience. So look, I do not regret watching it. It was an enjoyable time. Like I said, visually stunning. The acting was great. So, I mean, I can't fault it, and I would never say it was a bad movie. It was definitely not a bad movie. It's just not something that I personally can go back and rewatch and revisit time and again. So, rewatchability is not overly high, in my opinion. But I'll probably watch it again once, maybe twice over the next, 10 years. So there you have it. So if I had to give it a rating, now this is going to be a tough one because, like I said, across the board, thumbs up. Look, I'll give it a good solid 7.5 out of 10. Like I said, acting was great, story was great, visuals were fantastic. So I'll give it a good solid 7.5 out of 10. I'd be interested to see what other people think, if this is something that you would be interested in. So look, if you do go out and see it, whack a comment, down in the comments box. Let me know what you thought. I'd be interested to know what other people thought of this movie. Yeah, because like I said, absolutely nothing wrong with it. It's a visually stunning movie, but I can also tell it's not going to tickle everyone's taste buds, and it's not going to be to everyone's liking. So yeah. So look, if you do want to go out to the movies this weekend, I would say that this is a decent movie to go and see. Especially if you're into those sorts of things like Norse mythology, or if you're into those sorts of noir films that this particular director is known for. Definitely worth a watch, and see what you think. Okay, so that is my review. Now, as I said before, if there's something specific that's coming out in the future that you would like to see me do a review of, feel free to put some feedback down in the comments box. Let me know what you would like to see me do a review of. Also, we've got plenty of unboxing videos coming out. As you can see behind me, this is a delivery that we got the other day. So we've got unboxing videos coming up every Tuesday. If there's a particular action figure or Lego set or toy or anything at all that you would like to see me do an unboxing of, feel free to whack that down in the comments box as well. Or, as always, hit that subscribe button. The more subscribers, the better. It also helps with the algorithm, and give the video a thumbs up as well. So, until next time, guys, make sure you stay safe, stay jacked, and stay nerdy. Catch ya.